Bienvenido, YouTubers. This is Cheryl with CNC. Are we there yet? Did you know that Panama is the fastest growing destination in Central America? And the Panama Canal is the star attraction. Don't worry, if you haven't visited, we are taking you on a tour of the Panama Canal. But before we do that, grab your swimsuit, your sunscreen, because we are going on a boat ride to Taboga Island. Follow us, the adventures of CNC. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
I'm taking my chances along with my dreams.
Bienvenidos a la Isla Taboga. Here's a tip. At check-in for the ferry, passports are required. You can only get to Taboga Island by boat. We took the Calypso ferry. This is a slower ferry, but there's also fast ferries that go over. It's just that we went on the weekend. It was really busy and we couldn't get one of the fast ferries. Our ticket was only $15 and it was about an hour with the ferry to get to the island. The ferries go out from the Amador Causeway. Taboga Island is also known as the Island of Flowers. Hola, señorita. Bienvenido Isla Taboga. Isla Taboga, an island outside of Panama. It took us an hour on the ferry and it only cost $15 a person to travel over to this island. So cool, so relaxing. And there's the Panama City skyline in the back and the ships waiting to go through the Panama Canal. Beautiful day in paradise. There is only one road that runs through Taboga Island and there's barely any traffic. We did not go into the little town. We went down to the beach area and you can see all along the road leading out to the beach. There's little restaurants, bars, shops, souvenir shops. Everybody is super friendly. Everything is so colorful and pretty.
Oh, here's the molars. These are the molars that's made in the Sandblast Island. Layer on top of layer on top of layer.
Sandalias, allá más adelante sí tiene.
Okay.
Sí.
Okay, gracias.
Okay.
Beautiful. So only there do they make them sell? Hi, my Jamaican friends. Having fun? Not yet, but we will.
Everything is so affordable. We rented chairs and umbrellas and it was only $12 for 2 chairs with an umbrella. Isla Taboga. On the Pacific side of Panama. Everybody's very, very relaxed. I had a delicious ice cold coconut for only $2. Canal is an engineering wonder that cuts across the Isthmus of Panama and connects the Atlantic to the Pacific. Construction on the Panama Canal started in the 1800s. In 1881 by the French, but they stopped due to engineering problems and workers' mortality at the time. In 1904, the US took over the construction of the Panama Canal and completed it in 1914. It's been in existence for over 100 years. In 1999, the US turned it over to the Panama government.
Gracias.
¿Puedo ayudar? Es el primer ingeniero que construyó el canal francés.
Oh, sí.
Él fue el que tuvo la...
First engineer that constructed the...
Los canales fueron los primeros ingenieros que trabajaron con él. Hubo un solo panameño que es el que está en el sur.
The one in the circle is the only Panamanian that was involved, and those are all the first engineers that built the canal.
This is some of the first way
There's a lot of French, only one Panamanian was involved.
Wow.
As the engineers.
It started with the French.
So it started with the French.
Yeah, but they failed. 20,000 people lost their lives when the French was. After the Americans took over.
19,243 workers lost. Most from the West Indies and Jamaicas.
Because we were staying in Panama City, we visited the Miraflores Visitor Center, which is on the east and Pacific side of the Panama Canal. In the morning, the ships go from the Atlantic to the Pacific, and then in the evening, the opposite from the Pacific to the Atlantic. We were fortunate. Our taxi driver pretty much told us exactly when we should be there to see the ships going through, which was like between 1 and 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So it was perfect time, and we were fortunate enough to see 3 ships going through. The control room guides the vessels through the lock chambers using electric towing locomotives. These are also called mules. About 14,000 ships a year pass through the canal, and in 2021, $3 billion in toll revenue was made by the Panama Canal. The gates that control the locks weigh about 700 tons. And just to compare, this is like the weight of about 300 elephants. In 2016, a third lane was completed and opened in the Panama Canal. But even with this third lane, still the largest container ship in the world that carries 18,000 containers still can't pass through the canal. Panama Canal was one of the largest and most difficult engineering projects ever, with a lock system that lifts ships 85 feet above sea level. And this is because the Panama Canal links the Atlantic to the Pacific, and the Pacific rises higher than the Atlantic. So the lock system adjusts the height of the water as the ships go through. Ships under 50 feet pay $800 to pass through the canal. over 50 feet, they pay from $1,200 to hundreds of thousands, 120, 400,000, up to $1 million for mega ships to pass through the canal. The least that was ever paid in 1928, an American, Richard Halliburton, paid 36 cents to swim through the canal. That's a fun fact. If it wasn't for the Panama Canal, a trip around Cape Horn is an extra 12,500 miles. Stay tuned next week for a tour of Casco Viejo, a charming old Panama city filled with color and cuisine. You don't want to miss this.